Thank you very much. What we're doing today. So we'll start in here. A little bit of the forward-looking statements. Just wanted to highlight this slide very quickly. I do want you guys to come over with just a few points, if nothing else. Number one, we've got a very large land package that's underexplored and prospective. It's very prospective for gold in a safe jurisdiction. Number two, we're well funded. We've got $22 million in the bank. Three, we have made several discoveries. Two main ones that we're going to focus on today, and that's actually garnered a lot of interest from the majors. Four, and most importantly, we have an aligned management board. We're all major shareholders, and we are focused on enhancing shareholder value. And one of the last things that we want to bring up is, and we hope you come away with this, is that we are no longer just a boulder story in Finland. So quickly, why Finland? It consistently ranks in the top 10 of the Fraser Institute for Mining Investment. It was number one in 2017. It's safe, low tax regime, the skilled workforce, great infrastructure, very easy to get to. Our access is very easy. You fly into Rovaniemi or Kittilä. It's an hour-and-a-half drive to our site. We're actually to the town of Sedankalo is where we have our field office, and from there it's about 40 minutes by highway and all-weather gravel roads that take us right to our deposit or to our mill. So the prospectivity of Finland, it's a major greenstone belt, rivals the size of that the Abitibi and many other greenstone belts, but it's very underexplored. Why is that? Finland didn't open up its doors to foreign investment until 1995 when it entered the EU. You had a pretty dismal exploration and gold market from 95 through to the early 2000s. The junior market wasn't exactly there. And I guess the other thing is where we are located, which is north of the Arctic Circle. If you've got experience in Canada, that looks like you're on the surface of the moon and requires ice roads, fly in, fly out camp, all that. We don't need that on our property. So we figured, look, in the Abitibi, you've got almost 100 million ounces have been discovered. Why have those ounces not been discovered in Finland? And that's the reason why, just no work has been done there. So we're going to focus here. This is where our properties are. So this is the circle line, the circuit shear zone. It's a 125 kilometer long crustal scale fault, very similar to what you see in the Porcupine-Destor Fault in northern Ontario. We staked 80 kilometers of it. That is all less. We did sign some JVs and recently B2 Gold exercised our option, but we're going to focus on the 100% land here. It's in the red. Those are our Risti and Nauli projects. So what led us here? In 2016, our prospectors walked the ground and found boulders with gold-bearing quartz boulders. 133 of them weighed 75 grams per ton. 2017, we went back in, took a number more samples back at and still at this what's now known as the Aurion target. 1,200 samples averaging 25 grams per ton sitting on surface. By 2018, we've actually walked most of the ground. We've actually identified 15 kilometers by 8 kilometers with multiple targets all on this property. 5,000 samples averaging 8 grams per ton sitting at surface. And this is what the boulders look like. So we decided to focus our attention on Aurion Northwest, and Aurion Main. These are the 1,200 samples, grading 25 grams per ton. The first drilling, our initial thoughts were, because the boulders are so large and angular, it must have been frost heaving, boulders were pushed up, broken off. So the first attempt was drilling underneath those boulders. And in 2017, when we drilled, we missed. And so, stock kind of ran up and took that and came back, gave it all back. So we had to rethink where these boulders came from, because it doesn't explain how you have, up to 1,000 grams per ton sitting on surface. We did more work, more geotechnical work, geophysics, and determined that the boulders must have come from this small topography that's only about 200 meters high. And so we went in and we drilled into the hill and drilled around it. And we got some sniffs, and this is early 2018, but not enough that really actually explained why we had high-grade boulders sitting at the base of it. With some trenching and additional work, we realized that as you can see, these two large features that run along the hill go into the hill. So we used the heli rig, went back, and drilled from the north to south, and that's when we made our discovery hole late last year, just in early September, 3 meters of 789 grams per ton. And then we followed that up with holes on either side, about 25 meters either side. That's 50 meters kind of wide with multiple hits, very high grade. This year we did a bit more work. We actually did some downhole, 3D downhole viewing. And what it was telling us, we actually did some more mapping. At the top of the hill, we saw that there was a vein that was running actually from northeast to southwest. And with downhole viewing, we actually realized that that's what the veins does, generally the vein orientation. So while we were thinking that the gold bearing structure was the east-west, it is actually, they run northeast to southwest. So early this year, we came back up to the top of the hill where we had an outcrop and drilled from the northwest to southeast and hit 28 meters of 9.4, 31 meters of 3.5, and we followed that up with more hits, again, of grade. And this is all near surface, it's all within 100 meters of surface. So this is a little bit of geology, and I'm an accountant trying to talk geology, so I'm not exactly very qualified, but you can see there's very clear east-west trend, those are major faults, and with additional work we noticed that these northeast to southwest breaks. This year, all of our attention has been up here at Aurion Northwest. We currently have 2 rigs turning right there, drilling, and we are having great success. We will eventually move the rig down here. Where we were drilling north-south in the past, when we made the discovery, we are going to reorient it so it drills from northwest to southeast to actually hit one of the veins optimally. We believe that we actually may have a series of veins here that explain why we had multiple hits when we were drilling north-south. This is a little bit what it looks like. We believe that it's been analogous to the Kalgoorlie mine in Australia. So you have a major shear vein in the footwall. So we have here that hit 230 grams per ton. And you've got, and there it's fairly steeply dipping. And you've got extensional veins that are more flat-lying, which you see along here. So this is where the very high grade is, and the crack and seal shear vein. But then the extensional veins still get between half a gram to 50 grams per ton. And also, even in the sediments, we've had results of up to 5 grams per ton. So you've got a very wide zone of very good mineralization. And again, this all starts at surface. This is just a recap of our drilling from last year. And again, the thought was the gold was along this structure, and so we're drilling north-south, and that's where we hit these holes. And you can see we stepped out 50 meters each way, down to 150 meters. But again, now we realize the orientation is actually from northeast to southwest this way, so we are going to bring the rig in, reorient it this way. Now, taking a little bit further back, this is kind of more of the property-wide view. So this is where all of our work has been done here at Aurion Northwest, Aurion Main here. You can see this large, long structural trend that is highlighted by MAG. In between here, about 3 kilometers in between this notch, not exactly the scale. It's 5 kilometers long by 1 kilometer boulder field, 1,700 samples, average 3.5 grams per ton. We believe that once we kind of unlock what we've got here, which we believe we have, we can now make our way across here and understand what's going on in this area here. So, we're looking at from here to about 10 kilometers, and it actually extends even beyond to another target to the northwest, which is the Why Not target. So in all, it's about 13 kilometers long. of mineralization or potential mineralization. Late last year, so that's our second discovery, our second property. Late last year, we went into our property in Bounty, which is, I'll go back a little bit. So, Bounty is down here. It's about 9 kilometers from Amorisco as the crow flies. The main reason we want to focus here is where the surface shear zone takes this bend or a jog to the south. We felt that where the bend happened, there would be a great potential for mineralization. So late last year, we went into what's now called the Christmas zone. Took about 50 samples, averaged 10 grams per ton. The main difference here is we're no longer looking at boulders. We're not trying to find where the boulders come from. This is outcropping bedrock that's sitting at surface. So this year we went back in, walked more of it. So we walked 5.5 kilometers long by a 1 kilometer wide zone. Walked that this year, 900 samples. The first press release that we just put out a couple weeks ago, 250 samples, averaging 19 grams per ton. This is all in outcrop, not in boulders. The 2 zones that we've highlighted, so the Cuckoo zone and the Christmas zone. Cuckoo zone, 134 samples, average an ounce per ton at surface in outcrop. Christmas zone, another 60 samples, averaging just under 7 grams per ton, again in outcrop and at surface. What's considerably different here than Amorisco? Amorisco, we had 1,200 samples, averaging 25 grams per ton, but the medium grade was 50 ppb. So what you're seeing there is a significant skewing due to a negative effect, and that's showing up in the drilling. Here, the average grade was 19 grams per ton, but the medium grade is 6 grams per ton. So you're getting more evenly distributed mineralization. The gold is actually finer here. You don't see as much visible gold, but you still get some visible gold. And so we believe this will be a bit more disseminated within this target. Now, important to note, this is unlike what we saw in Amorisco with that hill. This is completely flat. It will be, quote unquote, easier to drill. It is an outcrop, so we know where we're targeting. We're not looking for a source of boulders and mineralization. Then our cap structure, as I mentioned, board of management is highly aligned. We've got 17.5% of the company. Share count is very tight with 83 million shares. We've got $22 million in the bank. Major shareholders, Kinross and Newmont. Newmont Gold Corp. Kinross came in 2017 and bought just under 10% of the company at $2.32. Newmont, actually Gold Corp, bought in the market up to 5% and are still sitting at just under 4%. And most recently we raised $10 million at $1.50. Eric Sprott was our cornerstone investor in that. So hopefully, and there's a little bit of background on the board. As mentioned, our chairman, he owns just under 10%. We are all owners, significant owners, and very aligned with shareholders, and obviously looking to make shareholders money. So, just to sum, again, we're sitting on a very large land package, underexplored, prospective for gold, and have made several discoveries on it already. The majors are interested. We've got cash, and the board and management will be looking to help shareholders make money on this.